The scene is set at the Looking Glass Cabaret. Two figures dance gracefully across the stage, one being Miss Kalliope and the other one being Juan Carlos. The two are practicing for the upcoming Elysium, which is going to be held at the Looking Glass Cabaret. Make your rolls, please, for the dance.
I'm going to roll Dex plus Performance.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Carlos royally fucks it.
Alright, I guess it's Carlos that fucks it.
Yeah. Just as well.
Alright, what does he do wrong?
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Time to describe. So as the two are practicing el tango, Juan Carlos holds Kalliope to one side, and as he does, he moves his right leg back a bit too far. 2 fucking tens, and a bit too far. And I falling on my back as Kalliope gently puts her feet twice and twice over, pretty much making me look like a jackass, and falls gracefully on her 2 feet as Juan is on his back. Ay, Dios mío. Discúlpame, Kalliope.
This reminds me of practicing with my sire.
Oh, was he just as bad as me as he gets back up?
He was German.
Oh, German? They know different dances. As he wipes himself off as well.
Okay, what else? She looks over at the other, the other Latino Toreador, as she's enlisted all of the ones that she knows so that she and Juan Carlos don't look like idiots when trying to do a Spanish dance in front of the rest of the kindred.
Javier
Yeah. Ven para acá.
Javier sitting in a nice suit is just hands down, not looking. You can see him kind of laughing under his breath. And he kind of looks up, teary-eyed. Hey, hombre, that was muy bien, yo.
Juan laughing as well, shaking his head. No lo pude hacer. Ella es muy flaca, la tiene que sujetar. And he begins speaking and ranting.
Just taking another step. Hey, Kalliope, darling, you're doing fucking great, Joe.
It's different than, this is different than ballet. Like I say, flamenco's a little bit closer to tap, but this is just, everything is just twisting from the bottom half of the body and turning, and then amount of hitting your legs at just the right triangular angle, and then timing the lust and the desire and it's like channeling that lust when you see that perfect human that you just can't resist.
Been there. I know that feel. He looks at Javier. You give it a try. As he goes to sit down and kind of pushes Javier to go towards Kalliope.
Javier kind of stretching himself, being in a suit, not really feeling comfortable, but he takes off his jacket and takes it to the side.
You doing tuxes?
Okay, yeah, and he kind of shakes nervously. Yeah, let's do this shit.
Alright, she gets at one side of the stage and takes like the Bose remote, like goes click 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 on it and like puts it back down on the table, like hops up to the corner of the stage as the start of the piece begins, and they're on opposite, ends of the walkway.
Yeah, what should I roll? Dexterity performance?
Yes.
Yeah, performance. And the music begins to start with a slower, more sultry feel to it. The two of them watch each other in the eyes, almost as if they were going to start to get, Toreador entranced in the awesome prettiness that they are of themselves. but then remembering that it becomes a dance and an interaction. They move closer towards each other, one arm getting brought down around the shoulder, like waist and hips, like twisting and moving with one ankle to the other, stretching a foot out and dragging the leg across his pantsuit line just ever so delicately, as if it were a woman just crawling into bed with a man she loves. You know how the tango be. And so let's roll.
Right. It's during this that one of the people who work at the Looking Glass walks into the room with a message for Kalliope, but seeing that her employer is in the middle of dance practice, he patiently waits at the side of the stage.
So she lets Javier lead, being the guy. So.
Yeah. And Javier getting 4 successes. He makes,
He does good.
yeah, that's good. He doesn't really know what the fuck he's doing, but maybe it's this Mexican Latino roots taking over. Maybe it's something.
It's in your blood.
Yeah.
In your
But
blood.
suddenly, there's a flash in his eye, and he kind of moves around with the grace of a vampire boosted on celerity.
Oh shit! I didn't roll any of my celerity dice. Fuck. I forget this every time.
I didn't either. Fuck.
Okay.
You people.
You did. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Yes.
That's
They
a
do
good
all
thing.
right. So they spin and they turn, and as the music moves to, we'll do one more roll here. As the music moves to go towards more of a climax point, she looks at him as they move back further away with, like, they finished the arms like this in one end, and she says, "This is the lift." And she looks at him, so you probably have to roll strength on this one. Like, and then she goes to move in towards him to where his hands are, and it's like she just moves and does a tuck and roll forward, and then the legs go up in a scissor kick on the side of him so that it ends up being like an upside down spread eagle that he's like holding on his side, like right here with her body. And they're gonna try it. It could totally botch. Especially if he doesn't know what he's doing, so maybe like difficulty 7 or something. This will be funny if I fall on my head.
I'll think I'll make a strength plus performance then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Performance.
She'll do performance because. Oh god, 3 1s!
Oh, he left you though.
Okay, hold on. I still do okay because I had a lot of 9s here, so I still get 1, 2. Despite my 3 1s, I still get 3 successes.
Oh, thank goodness! That would have been really bad if you kicked him square in the face with your heel.
That would be great. This is how fights start. So as he just looks and is like, does the guy move? He's like, okay, I just have to lift. Like, catches right there, and then just like a little bit, like lifts it back up as she just holds the position for a while as like the music does what it's supposed to do. And then uses the abdominal strength to move her legs back up to, to a pencil up top, and then folds her lower half back down until it bends and hits the ground. And as she rolls her body back up from that, takes her hand on the side of his body all the way up until it hits his face, and then just moves in ever so close, just like you would in a tango where they're just waiting for the kiss, but they don't ever do it. And then the music ends.
That video, man.
Holy shit, yo! I thought you were gonna kick me in the face there for a minute.
Well, it's close, but that's how dancing goes.
Bravo, bravo, muy bonito, muy bonito. Carlos raises Stan's Hope's brew. Do it again. Mortimer.
The employee is also clapping at this point, as when Kalliope would then notice the employee.
She looks over at him, and him being one of the beefy guys and the sweethearts. David, what?
Oh, some guy's here to see you, miss. Some guy named Mortimer.
She looks him over. him still being in like his, his Chippendale outfit for the evening, basically. She doesn't let her manservants walk around in much else. And says, "Bring him up then, and then close the door behind you."
And he'll do exactly that.
Being one of the herd, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, and within just like maybe a minute, the door opens again, and Mortimer walks in, and the door closes behind him. He looks terrible. Like, even though he's trying so hard to hold it together, he looks like he's been to hell and back. He's not physically hurt, but this is like he looks like he's literally at his wit's end right now. Like, possibly if you guys were to roll like to try and see like exactly what his mindset is, you'd probably be able to tell that he's doing everything he can right now to stop himself from shaking.
She's gonna look him over, and she doesn't have any heightened senses on right now, but she'll just, roll perception and what is it? Alertness is the non-supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
And zing zing. Okay, that's 2.
2. This would be comparative to the look somebody would have if they just survived, like, getting into, like, some sort of car accident unscathed, or if they were able to walk away from, like, a fight unscathed. Like, jarred, like, mentally jarred, but physically alright. As he's just like, "Good evening, Miss Kalliope. Might I trouble you for the use of some of your delightful employees here? I really, really need a drink."
She looks him over as he's coming in, and just like realizing he's trying to put on a face for that, and that something's not right. So she do a quick flick on his aura too, with perception, empathy, which is aura reading.
This is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because you'll actually see his deceptive aura now.
Cool.
Like,
so give me 1 second to get my dice rolled. 6 more dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Juan will walk over and just give him a scan.
So actually, yeah, I got 3 successes on that with a DC 8. So that means that I can recognize the color patterns.
Oh yeah, he's scared out of his mind. Like, a combination of stress and scared, and his aura is as bright as any mortal's. Like, to the point where if you didn't know he was a vampire, you couldn't tell the difference.
So with anxious, probably like white static noise, like flickering back and forth, really, really brightly, and then afraid is orange, so like orange and whitey static.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she doesn't necessarily know what every single color is, but like looking at his personality and getting like orange with white flickers, this and that, she can kind of start interpreting what each of these colors mean. Let's get him up as a... Yeah, you look like you need one. Yeah. And walks over to the bar to go grab one of the Stanhope brews, grabbing an Iron Man mug.
Right.
And,
how much blood points would you recover from one of these?
1.
Usually just 1 glass is like 1. Like, you're going to have to keep going, because it's basically like taking a pint of blood is like 8 point. So.
Oh, yeah.
You just get 1 per night from Stanhope.
Alright, then. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, as he takes it and says, "Thank you," and then downs it. And if this was like alcohol, he would just down it in 1, like, and just keep going until he was done. Just, thank you.
Mortimer was a frat boy.
It says, "Do you need a girl? 'Cause, I mean, I can bring one of the sweethearts up here, too. I mean, they're pretty used to people hitting on them by now, so."
That would be good, but I feel that I would not be on my A game. Perhaps a little later on. Don't take it off the table, mind you, but I just needed to be around the clan.
I mean, you'll still need to be on your A game. She's used to to shitty people hitting on her, so she'll.
No, I can do a good shitty people. I've done shitty person tonight.
Oh, do tell. And she pours herself another glass and looks over at Javier and Juan Carlos, kind of with one of those looks of like, y'all want one?
Juan will take.
She passes Juan a cup that actually has Captain America on it. Javier one that has the Hulk on it, and then takes one for herself that has Hawkeye on it.
Hawkeye.
Javier is gonna look at Kalliope. Is this dance-up shit? I can smell it with heightened senses. Kind of going, oh nah, puts it away.
Juan takes it from him.
Not Stanhope's shit too. I got both.
Juan takes it. He doesn't care.
Okay.
Mortimer will put his head into his hands
and makes snaps, and them obviously with better hearing can hear. She gets David brought back up. Looks and says, "I need Amber."
He'll raise an eyebrow.
I can take that guy if he's available, and he kind of smirks.
Says, "Oh, he's been tinkered with a little bit this week. I don't think Amber's gotten as much play yet, so you might be better off with her." And he brings in a minute. Like a girl comes back up, about 5'7" with her heels on, like relatively buxom blonde. Looks like she's probably working her way through college. Probably could have been a Hooters girl, but has a bit more talent and capacity. Because Kalliope doesn't hire anyone who can't at least play an instrument, do acrobatics, and read a story, sing, and 3 other things. So she basically ends up hiring the musical theater prodigies. And the girl just sits, walks over in, and has a little short skirt on and the cocktail waitress get up here with red and black for her, the deck of cards like you would with Alice in Wonderland. And she just looks over at, she takes her, and this girl obviously has had emotional conditioning to the point where she'll just pretty much do whatever, Kalliope ends up wanting to do. Says, "I got one of my friends over here who needs a little bit of company for the night." And she says, "Oh," and then looks at the 3 of them. And she looks over at the gentleman in the nice-looking suit that has his jacket off right now. Says, "We just got done dancing, and I'm pretty sure he'd enjoy telling you all about it." She says, "Oh, a dancer." And then walks over towards him, and it looks like she's been well trained and used to dealing with somewhat sleazy clientele, so she doesn't necessarily know exactly what's going to happen, but she's very good at being elevated call girl kind of set of things, and sits down over on the lap and crosses a leg so that a butt cheek just strategically kind of settles onto his pants leg, up by the groin area, and puts one arm around his neck and just leans in and is like, "So tell me all about it." And Kalliope just ignores her at this point and goes back over and passes the brewski to the other 2 gentlemen and says, "So we were saying."
Mortimer's head's in his hands at this point as he just shakes his head and goes, "I really don't know what I got myself into when I came to this city. I really don't. I had heard stories, but nothing could have prepared me for the shit that goes on in New Serum."
I could have told you that, but then again, you didn't know ahead of time.
¿Qué pasó?
The police either just have or are going to in a few hours probably raid Gleason's gym.
Who's Gleason?
He's not done
No,
yet. It's not even open.
Oh.
I don't know what the hell happened or what Laird did, but apparently his ghoul either he told me that he sent him to deliver this sort of joke package to one of the Giovanni, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting up, walking down, I see a bunch of the other harpies, I think, oh, this will be a great time to introduce myself. Then they're freaking out. I learn that his ghoul's house is completely taped down, there's police everywhere, and then he tells me to get a moving van, and he brings out a duffel bag that's filled with more guns than I've ever seen in my entire life, and then it just gets progressively worse and worse from there. I mean, a duffel bag filled with all kinds of guns.
It's like a cartoon.
It really is like a cartoon. I couldn't write this.
That sounds like the Italians, though, let me tell you.
Wait. Javier kind of perks up from the lady. Was those like Russian AKs and shit like that?
I don't know what they were. I don't know guns. They were just looked like that they would be used to like the stuff that would be like in a modern war movie or something. But probably those I think out of character. Those were Javier's guns.
But she looks it over, and as Javier's like perking up, she looks at, you done? Just checking to make sure that he's gotten what he needed.
He's right in the middle of licking the wounds right now, and he kind of just nods, licks the wound fast, quickly, and just gets her on her way.
Amber, you're always so wonderful. She takes one hand and pulls it by her head, puts her finger up onto the girl's chin, looks her in the eyes, and says, "Forget." And sends Amber with a little slap on the tush back out the door.
Javier kind of returns to the conversation. Yeah, nah, Larry always had like this big thing with the like pizza eaters and like shit like that. He's never been too keen on them, as I heard.
He's going to look at Javier, and he really does not have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically, like Larry told me about that time he kind of put people in like Italian mafia mobs members in jail in New York and shit like that. Maybe this is some like revenge action. I don't fucking know.
God, sure hope not. Because if that's true, then I'm a freaking accomplice to all this now.
And you made sure you were not followed, correct?
I did as best to my abilities. I just got a truck, brought it around back, and then it just gets worse and worse. He brings out like 4 to 5 people with freaking bags over their heads, loads them into the truck. He tells me to follow him. I do. He gets rid of the guns and then tells me to drive them to a sausage factory. And that's when I just was done with it. I was so done with it. I just got out of the car and I just came right here. I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't want to know what the hell was going on. I just want a normal city with normal kindred who's... Oh, God. Ugh.
You know what I bet it's for? I bet you it's for the asylum.
What's this asylum I keep hearing about?
Yeah, basically, and he kind of turns to Juan. Basically, under this big, like, fucking Baba Yaga or whatever she is, like, sleeping underneath, like, the asylum. And she's
What's
like,
up, Baba Yaga?
Like some Russian old bitch or something like
She's
that.
the Russian witch. What she does is she takes those young girls who wish evil upon men and then does the evil to the men, but then captures their souls.
Yeah, basically like there's a fucking other fucking thing, probably Malkavian, sleeping somewhere underneath like the asylum and probably eating a lot of shit.
And what the? Why do people believe such superstition?
It's not really a superstition. There's always a grain of truth to all mythology. If I've heard from the Primogen that what it is exactly is some kind of Methuselah. It's an elder kindred, a very, very old kindred that's been through silence.
That's a different story. You speak of witches. That's not true. Methuselahs, the old. That's very true.
Yes.
We should probably stay away from there.
Like we feed on blood, she can't feed on anything but kindred blood, which is why they keep turning, just like the Sabbat, all of these younglings, and then devouring them.
Ugh.
Honestly, I don't know what shit just went down tonight, but I really thought that I knew at least a couple of kindred with a level head on their shoulders, but after tonight.
Laird is Senor Brehan, ¿verdad? The Harpy of the Venture.
Yes.
Ah, well, this is very sad news to hear. He looks at Kalliope. This is possibly a masquerade breach?
Guns? No. Guns are totally normal. There's nothing weird or supernatural about that.
I was talking about the kine being roped up and taken outside with a van.
About that, shit, were there like kine within Lysenstium?
Yeah, he brought them out of the basement and loaded them into the moving van.
Was this van in the back or in the front?
It's in the back.
Oh, hopefully.
Holy shit. Okay, guys. Okay. Right. So, I had this meeting with Larry. Now, he be having like this trouble, see, like the Geos, like the pizza bakers.
Oh, now I get it.
Like, basically has this thing that there's just fucking pain and shit like that with like biting and shit. So, and it can only feed from criminals, with this blue blood and shit like that and preferred tastes and shit, So maybe he got these people locked up and roped up in his basement and kind of fed off him like some psycho.
Huh. That would make sense.
Blue blood?
That means kind of like every one of these fucking kind needs to die, or it's a fucking massive masquerade breach.
Well, you forget too, the Venture can make them forget what went on, depending on how good they are. And if they're just tied up in the basement, that still could just be being tied up in the basement. There's lots of serial killers out there.
Yes, we may be safe. It's just an uneasy thought, is all. Let's hope that the situation gets taken care of. Although Mortimer, try not to hang out, obviously, too much at this Gleason person's gym.
Oh, I'm not going back. I really hope that I am looking too far into this because I like Laird. He's a good guy. He's decent. But this is just a disaster. Like how can we do our job and upkeep the masquerade when shit like this keeps on happening? If it's not murders one night, it's plague bearers the next, and feuds with the Giovanni and
Clan Toreador took care of that plague. As he reminds you that he killed him. He's boasting.
He did? He actually didn't realize that.
Oh.
Well, that's some good news.
Never mind. Not a character.
No, I arrived late. Like, he was nothing but ash by the time that Mortimer arrived.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
Alright. He'll just sigh and sort of look off into the distance. How do you guys do it? Well, I know you're new too, Juan Carlos, but how do you do it, Miss Kalliope? How are you able to, like, keep a grip on things when shit like this happens on a nightly basis?
make sure the fury of the people who are in charge is pointed at someone else other than you.
Well, that's not exactly what I meant, but that's his sound advice.
Because this shit happens all the time. Every time, every night. All of these things through the ages have always been us. We are just phenomenally good at blaming them on other things. Most people don't want to think of supernaturals. It's much easier to say an axe murderer came in and raped a bunch of children rather than some
Jesus.
vampire had a feeding frenzy and lost control. People don't want to think that. You can weave stories, you can control things, because somebody inevitably, when more of us than one gather together, it becomes far more difficult to cover things up, even in a city. That's why we're solitary creatures.
Yeah, she's right, Joe. Like, everything is a fucking conspiracy. You know, back in my days, LA riots, Camarilla versus Anarch war. You know, it's always the fucking masquerade. Like, that guy who just died somewhere, it's probably like some vampire who killed him.
And we're not the only things that go bump in the night.
Oh, I know. It's not that. I know that this is all part of the masquerade. This stuff happens, but the regularity is not what I'm used to. Like, as you'll see that he's having this internal struggle right now. Would you guys like to roll, like,
Yeah.
yes, I'd say perception plus empathy.
Sure.
Difficulty 6 because he's still jarred.
4 successes.
Nice.
Damn, too.
Still good.
I do shit.
Oh. Okay, in this case, Javier just doesn't have a clue, but Juan Carlos, you see that he's facing a challenge right now, that he doesn't know whether to, like, stand and fight or to run away. Kalliope, on the other hand, has a much better understanding. He feels like he's in over his head. That's the idea that you're getting. Like, this is the look of somebody who, like, walked into the oven, essentially.
Shit, turn that off. What is... I'll go get it.
She looks over Mortimer and just listens. So when things get like that and you don't know what to do, I found the best thing is to put your head down, peer for a while, ignore everyone else, build your business, do what you love, and don't lose grip on the fact that there are things that you can enjoy in this unlife. You don't have to work every goddamn night. And for what? For everyone else? No. You can take some time and enjoy you and what you like doing and let everyone else worry about everyone else. Because ultimately, you're only responsible for you. You can't take the blame for everyone else. If you do, you're going to live with guilt for 100 years, and nothing but guilt, and it's going to eat away at you until you lose whatever aspect of humanity you have.
Seem like you're fucking talking from experience, yo, Blanca. Nah, but basically she's right, Joe, and if you can't do, like, the whole disappearing act, you know how to fight, Morty?
Just barely. Like, my sire told me that I should get instructions on some form of higher art of combat, so I have a little bit of sword training, but it's so little. It's basic. I'm not a fighter.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not. I just write. That's all I've done.
I was going to say, what do you do when everything else in the world has pissed you off to an end, and you need to go someplace where no one else can bother you? Where's your escape?
And then he looks confused for a minute as...
She
This
looks
is a
at
very
Kalliope,
strange look.
and she says, that is the one thing our clan has over everyone else's head, is that our curse is not the same as everyone else's curse. We are the most in touch with what's going on around us, even though we look like we're the most aloof. Because we got the most spirit left in us. We have the most passion for things. It doesn't have to be caring, but we have the most passion for things, and it's that which makes a difference between you being alive and you being a walking corpse.
It's the reason you care so much right now, Mortimer.
As you see him sort of get this determined look, as you guys who got the success are able to tell that he's decided to stay and fight, and he says, "Thank you, guys. I made the right choice coming here tonight. It's just... no one likes to see... wake up to that, what I just went through. But it has been a really long time since I had a little me time. Longer now than I've realized. Thank you. All of you. Now, actually, do you have any other lovely ladies that I could entertain tonight?"
She smiles and walks back over to the door. David comes back up. "I need Heather." And she waits for a minute. This one comes up. This one's a ginger with like short, like curly kind of pixie cut looking thing going on, and walks over basically in the same outfit, a little bit more quiet, a little bit more petite framed, only like maybe 5'2". And she grabs the girl and says, "Mr. Fitzgerald over here would love a little bit of company for the evening." And she looks over in his general direction and just kind of smiles demurely and walks over towards him.
"Good evening, miss. I've heard that this place has a hedge maze. Would you like to walk it?" He smiles wolfishly.
Looks up, says, "Well, I know the way, but I'll let you lead." And
Ooh.
he stands up and takes him out of the room over towards up on the floor where the rest of the food place is, and the hedge maze and this and that, and leaves the other three in the room.
Mortimer seems a bit off. ¿Tú no crees?
I think, it's just, with like these kind of guys, these skimpy guys who can't, stick up for himself and, kind of seeing guns and shit like that, kind of just takes the shit out of him.
He has no reason to fear. If anything comes this way, we are more than ample to protect him. Although it does worry me that he can't defend himself as he looks to Kalliope.
Is he looking like, "Hey, can you defend yourself?" Or is he like, "Yeah, you got me"?
No, like, hey, like me and you, and hopefully Javier, if he chooses to, should fucking train him, because I know you can.
He looks over and says, "Well, that's the nice thing about us, is sometimes we don't need to always fight. You can sway other people's emotions, convince them to do what you want. In fact, that's more of a challenge, I think. But sometimes you just get so goddamn pissed you just need to beat the shit out of something, you know?"
Fucking amen.
Amen.
I haven't been down to the range in forever, since Raz took me the last time.
I do not use guns, but I am looking forward to the swordplay in the future.
She kind of smiles when he says guns. Like, Yeah, blitz.
Calm down.
Sorry, I'm a Southern
Jinx.
girl. We had guns in our hands about as soon as we could walk. That's what I did. I didn't go to cheer practice when I was a kid. I went to rifle and pistol competitions.
Oh, you are from the south. I didn't know that. Sorry, disculpa.
Right out of Georgia.
Hope you don't mind sitting here with some border hoppers and shit.
Speak for yourself as he looks at Javier. He
I
gets.
have been trying to get better with my sword, though. She moves and still out of the back of the rest of her shirt, pulls up the from its sheath, a very nice, like, Asian-looking, short sword length blade, diamond tipped. It looks way fancy. This was a gift from the previous Gangrel Primogen, Mr. Joshua Deep, before he passed.
Oh, he rushes to you when he sees it and just like hovers over it like, can I touch?
Yeah, she looks. It's very well balanced. Definitely a shorter weapon fit for someone at like her 5'8" frame.
Gonna roll self-control, difficulty 6 for my flaw. I got 1 success, so I'm mildly entranced, but you can continue.
Yeah, she looks over and says, I used to go practice at his dojo trying to train up in swordplay, but I still haven't gotten it all down yet. I'll get better, but, it's been kind of one of those, still trying to figure out what kind of a technique I want to use. He started showing me a little bit more of the Asian arts with that and things for basically watching what everyone else does and wearing your opponent down until they're so exhausted that you have enough space to come in and strike. But he thought that might work better for me being smaller of size and not really as strong as some.
Speed and precision as he holds the blade, and he cuts into his finger to feel the depth and to get using heightened senses focused on his touch to feel as he tears into his finger, into his bone, to feel the work, the craftsmanship of the blade. While this would do, I'm guessing like maybe 1 bashing or lethal rather damage to himself.
It's 2 lethal plus
2
strength.
lethal. 2 lethal to himself. He's really entranced by it and kind of comes back since he did get 1 success. Comes back after it and disculpa, and he takes out a handkerchief and cleans the blade from what he did and hands it back to you.
As she's watching the blood, she's just going to make sure that she keeps her self-control on that. So. She has a taste for kindred blood. Not from being hungry, from like drinking kindred blood. So yeah, she's. I know how good this tastes. It's got to taste different than Leopold. Like she just watches it for a minute. It's like how he was entranced with the sword. She just kind of looks at the blood and is like kind of a similar manner, but doesn't say anything. It's just like she had that look that was like, oh God, I really want a pizza right now. That kind of thing.
I wouldn't notice it because I just came out of concentration, but yeah. That's awesome.
I just rolled perception and I made 1 success, and Javier's like going from one to another, and just, oh, you both fucking loco, man.
We're all a little bit crazy. See. As he kind of pats himself down and kind of shakes it off.
We could practice and play. She looks over at the wall. There's pretty much a bunch of like sword-sized sticks from like one of the routines that they had been doing. So they're obviously made out of wood and not really gonna do any damage to anything. She looks and says, we could spar pulling blows.
Oh, yeah.
The other person know that they would have been hit?
Por supuesto, yes. Juan would go over to grab one of the wooden blades, grabbing both in order to give it to whoever wants to play. He's ready.
She'll walk over to go get one.
Okay.
This would be a good chance for Mortimer to come back with the lovely lady from before. Sort of just arm around her shoulder. They're both laughing.
Mortimer, you care to have the next round as he steps up onto the stage with Kalliope.
Oh, a sparring match, you say? Sure, why not? As he'll sit down.
Good.
Watch the
Practice
exhibition.
makes perfect.
He'll smile. He's looking a lot better now. Perhaps all he needed was a bit of blood and some good company.
Yes, pep talks.
Comes back over with her stick, like
God damn!
Gonna take off her jacket as well, so that she has a little bit more arm movement for this. Throw it back on the chair. Mortimer, do you have any sparring play yet? I kind of suck at these swords too, so you probably don't have any more or less experience than I do with swords.
Oh. Interesting. Well, then I suppose I won't get bested too badly then.
Yeah, and she's definitely not like lying. She's has no sword skills, has no melee skills.
So is out of character, since we're pulling blows, would this be dex and performance still? As it's just to call shots?
You could do dex and melee, but just don't roll damage. Like, if you can, the other person could roll like a dodge or something like that, or a parry, but not roll any damage rolls.
Cool.
Yes, go initiative and roll.
Yes,
initiative is 1d10 plus dex plus wits, right?
Yeah, are we doing a three-way, or
Oh.
or are we doing just a two-person spar? 1 and 1?
Okay.
Okay, am I going with Mortimer, or am I going with one of you guys?
Oh, actually, that would be better, huh? Actually, I won't roll then. Mortimer, you go ahead with Kalliope because I don't want to. Go ahead.
All right, then.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'll coach you in the back.
Okay.
14 initiative.
Okay, how do you roll initiative?
Roll
1d10.
And then it's your
1d10.
dex plus your celerity plus your wits.
Oh, yes. Fuck, I always forget. I'm not a fucking Ravnos anymore.
Okay, rolling. Okay, so that's 6, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. So Kalliope will get to go first on this one. And she's going to not use any celerity actions, just going to take one regular swing towards his general direction and see how he does with that to start with. So she'll take her wooden sword in hand and assume that he's probably fighting right-handed, right?
Mm-hmm. He'd actually test to see how heavy the stick is, and if it's light enough, he'd actually take a fencing stance.
Okay, yeah, the sticks are very, very light, and they're long enough to be able to kind of use as either one or the other.
All right.
And this one, hers is long enough, so she's going to end up using it two-handed.
Nice.
Haha! For now. And take it and move. Being left-handed, it looks strange on the direction, so she's going to use that to her advantage, assuming that most people don't know how to fight a left-handed person as well, and move to go in on his shoulder, just to see if he can move and parry that out of the way. So I need, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do have one dot in melee. I lied. Okay, 9. And a bunch of freaking 1s. So she, the first blow looks like she's being all casual, and then kind of goes to go for the shoulder, but like still in her heels, like twists her ankle a little bit on the heel, and then ends up going down a little bit lower, like not even really landing that one, and then attempts to brush it off. Yeah. Just seeing how you do.
Are you sure you'd want to wear heels for this? It is quite stylish, but...
It's alright. I've killed Zemitzi horrors in heels before.
Oh, you don't say. Now that is the tale I have to hear after this. On guard as he'll make his own attack. This is Dex plus melee, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's going to be...
The plus celerity as well. I remembered.
Haha! So that's going to be 5. Okay, I don't think I hit you with that.
Yeah, so he looks about the same as her. It's like they're both kind of warming up, and at this point the other two are like, God, they probably suck, like god awful. Ugh. Yeah, so neither of them land a hit on that one, and neither of them, have to parry anything out of the way. And so they go back up to the start, and she's like,
Okay.
all right, warm-up's out of the way, and like kicks one heel back a little bit, does a little bit of the flamenco, and moves back in to go towards the other side. This time going up and around, but really going down to land and hit exactly like at knee level, as if she was going to move, swipe a little bit, like aiming directly at his knee, attempting to be really precise with this kneecap. Precise with this. Guess who has a specialty in precision?
That's +1 difficulty.
So it would make it a little bit easier. Hey, not nearly so many ones this time. So 2 of those go off because 10 cancels out. So she'll land this time, and that means that he can, choose to parry or dodge.
All right, he'll try parrying. What's the roll for this?
Dexterity and melee.
So that's 5 again.
So if you want to use that as a defensive action, you can parry, or you could just suck it up and take the hit. But since we're not doing damage, you might as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'll be your action.
Ooh, oh my. I think I actually parried it.
If the defender rolls more successes than the attacker does in the resisted action, then, So you do.
Alright, so he'll fencing parry it out of the way with a little fancy spin and just be like, haha!
Hey, good, your turn. And then she'll stand there this time just waiting for him, defensively.
Alright, and since he also cannot be showed up since he is a Toreador, he'll actually, bunker down his stance a little bit more and then try, several, feint jabs and then go for a called shot against your shoulder.
Oh.
So the difficulty is going to be 8, right?
Mm-hmm. Called shots +2, yeah.
Oh.
But it cancels.
Better to fail while looking pretty than to succeed while being normal.
Yeah, so she looked at him with that, and having held that action, she's going to go ahead and take hers, after his.
Nice.
And, not going to use any celerity on this yet. I'm just going to roll up. So it takes the 8 out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! This time she does well after, just standing there watching that go, basically kind of moving to the side with one of them, moves to the side, and then just takes the sword and goes, boom! Right towards, solar plexus on him.
Ow.
Ah.
Alright, and no time to parry for that, so just...
Cuidado!
Ow! As it actually staggers him for a moment, and then he tries to sort of take a few steps back.
And she looks over and says, all right, Mortimer, how fast are you?
Average?
Says,
4 arrows.
that is one of our clan tricks. If you can get out of the way and run from danger, or you can move faster than the thought of the eye, it's all about how you use your senses while you're moving. You can't rely just on one anymore. It becomes a whole body machine to be able to move that quickly, to anticipate what they're going to do, to smell which way their arm is moving in the wind before they move there, and then anticipate everything that's going to happen. You become one and an embodiment with your blade or whatever your weapon of choice happens to be, and you forget everything that your mind ever knew, and you just become one with your act.
Right. As he's like really getting into the zone now, as he's taking in what she just said.
So she's going to look at him while she's saying all that, sizing the rest of him up, and she's going to take her regular action first here, and then she's going to go ahead and do celerity actions after whatever he does. So I'm not going to add my celerity dice into this, since I'm using a celerity action at the end.
Does it cost a blood point to do a celerity action?
It will.
Yes.
All right.
So the first one that she goes in on, she just doesn't do nearly as well on that. And then it's his turn for the regular turn.
All right, then. He will react instinctively like she suggested, and then just try to go for a sweep of the legs. So that would be call shot 8 again.
Oh, cheeky.
And no successes.
All right. So as soon as he's done with that, in a flurry of blows, like as soon as Mortimer moves to go down to the kneecap, it's like she instinctively feels where he's going, and then reciprocates and moves her blade in a flurry of going from a counterpoint up towards his head to moves back around and spins, and then hits on the other side, and then goes back down for his legs to just swipe things out from under him. All of this in like the split flash of like a half a second, since one turn is only like 6 seconds. So this is all happening in probably like a second or two. Her first go, 1, 2, 3. She lands him on the shoulder and just like boom, taps just hard enough so that he can feel that it happened, and then goes again down for like the midsection one. Boom, 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 boom. Hits with another 4. Boom,
Nice.
boom, boom, and then moves back down towards his leg to go for the sweep action. And 1, 2, 3. Lands the snot out of that one. Just goes boom, 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 and then ends up being behind him in a flash like that, with one hand ready to go back after sweeping him, and just moves the blade down behind him as she's, coming up behind him, basically puts that over towards his neck and just leans in this way towards where his ear is and says, "That's what I mean by speed."
As he's just floored at this point, he's just like, wow.
Juan Carlos takes a napkin and throws it into the
She,
And
finishing
you're
that,
just a beginner at this?
she looks back down and says, "For swords, yes, I rely mostly on the fact that I'm fast. I've been dancing my whole entire life. I'm nimble. But the only problem with that is you will wear yourself out very quickly. I would not recommend doing something like that in a mass melee, because you will not last long enough to beat down all the rest of your foes."
All right, then. I'll fight after that.
Senora.
I'm going to go ahead and spend my 3 bloods. Blood well spent.
That was amazing. As he'll get up and go to shake your hand.
She says, "I'm much better with a gun."
I would hate to meet you in a dark alley with a gun after seeing that.
You know what? They're not as good against kindred. If you're in a fight against humans, use the guns. If you're in a fight against kindred, swords are the way to go.
All right. Oh, does she shake his hand?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then she'll look over at the two Hispanic guys, and she'll go back to kick back at a chair, and she's gonna pour herself another kindred beer. I'll be right back.
As he'll sit down and just say, "Remarkable."
A
So
woman
much
after
over.
everyone's hearts.
Yeah.
Javier, do you dabble?
You know, I'm not so fucking bad with the filero.
Did you say vanilla?
Filero. I think that's knife.
Oh, okay. I thought you said buñuelo. That's a type of
No,
bread.
no. No, I
Oh
did
my
not.
god. Oh, okay. Buñuelo. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, well then.
Spanish is rusty at best.
Let us go.
Yeah, fuck sure.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Walk over to the big wall of, stuff. You kind of pick out a small, I would say, practice dagger or something like that.
Muy bien. Have you, Juan kind of looks at the wall and takes the wooden, lighter weapon that Mortimer was using, as he also did fencing.
At this point, Mortimer will turn to Kalliope and say, "This is gonna be good."
She'll pour herself a beer and say, "Oh man, yeah, I'm excited." Bottoms up.
Basically, Javier's going to, begin to take off his suit, takes off his shirt, exposing his top. Basically, his entire body is filled with gangster tattoos of all kinds. Anyone having streetwise would be able to roll intelligence streetwise to actually get some information on which gangs he is in.
Master P, what is that?
Oh, I'll roll. Hold on. Ha! 2 10s! Woo!
That's kind of good.
What is my streetwise? I don't even. Oh, that's why. That's right, because I don't have any. I'm not a low life. No, I'm kidding.
So,
go ahead.
So, one of the more, attracting tattoos he has is a big symbol of 18 right over his heart, where his heart should be.
18.
18. And anyone with street knowledge and stuff like that, it's a big gang in LA. Basically, the 18th Street gang. Highly criminal, highly insane motherfuckers.
Juan, being from San Diego, would know what that is without any streetwise, but
they are connected to like every type of fucking Latino mafia.
No, they are. Yeah, out of character, they are. But Juan just eyes it. Juan eyes it.
And he kind of throws the shirt to the ground. Kind of eyes the small stick. Yes. Oh shit, this is going to go fucking bad, isn't it? Hey, Juan, what's that over your fucking shoulder?
Juan would be getting ready and kind of concentrating with his concentration, blah blah blah. And just for thematic effect, his cold breeze flaw would probably be picking up as his concentration goes into effect, and you feel much higher in this room is the cold going against your faces. And Javier's gets in, rather, Juan, I was thinking of you, man. Juan gets in the zone, and he, I guess to describe him, because he doesn't take anything off, but he's basically wearing what he has in that picture, just a short sleeve green shirt, a pendant that he always wears with him, and obviously this wooden sword that he's about to smack you with.
I'm actually, during this time, Javier is actually going to spend a lot of blood pumping his dexterity. I think
fine.
like free blood or something like that. He's a megalomaniac motherfucker, so he's going to cheat.
No problem. No problem.
So that's, let's say I pumped 2 blood. That would give me a 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 4. You're first.
Am I? Hold on, I'm still counting.
I am.
Okay, I got 17.
17. Okay. I think I'm at 13.
13. Clear. So, as I concentrate, I'm gonna go ahead and go into basically holding my fake rapier. I'm gonna hold it for defense as I concentrate and see what you can do first.
He kind of stands there flexing, not really doing anything, and he kind of just, you know. So we're doing this fucking street, or we're going all kind of fancy etiquette and shit like that.
Any way you want it. He smiles.
That's the way you need it. Totally does it in character too.
Any way you want it. No, I'm kidding.
So,
He's concentrating.
So, Javier getting the invitation to, you know, well, let's use some fucking powers. I'm going to roll Dread Gaze.
What?
He looks at it and watches as he starts to go, looks over at Mortimer, and it's like, so I was about to ask you, do you know how to stare down your enemies yet? And she looks at Javier and she's like, oh, watch this.
What's your wits plus courage?
Let me get you. And where's my courage at? There it is. I don't even know where everything
watches
is.
him keep drinking her blood beer.
Okay, here you go. Put it in chat.
You do it. Oh god. That's 4 successes.
4, nice.
You're running for your life.
Oh god. I begin running because I don't know how to counter that. Am I allowed to spend a willpower?
You're like
you're allowed to...
in the corner.
I'm crying.
Wow.
As Javier kind of stands there as you begin to run away, he's just going to pop into obfuscate. So when you turn back, he's gone.
It goes away right after you break it?
Yeah.
Strikeys. I kind of snap out of it, then I look back into the room. ¿Qué pasó?
I'm gonna go ahead and say, since I've got Auspex 3, I'm gonna go ahead and roll against your obfuscate here, just to be as, because I watched him, I look back and I'm like, he's not. I'm like, so I probably have an inkling of what he might have done, but maybe not, because I'm like, wait, Toreador, what?
Yeah, that's Mortimer's idea. Is just like,
so
can we do that too?
So I'm going to look over at him in that general direction, and to break through the obfuscate, is it alertness and perception? Plus,
it automatically doesn't go through if you are automatically looking for him at level 1, so if I look for him, it breaks it.
So
is it a level 1? Or are you level
1? He's just standing there, you know, kind of smiling, looking at you.
Oh, because you don't know it's not working. Okay. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay. um,
So
he
I guess
looks
it's
at
your job
the
to
other
go.
two and looks at Javier just standing there laughing and what ¿por qué hiciste eso? He kind of like angrily gets back on stage.
Man, hey, yo, Kako, you shouldn't run away from your fucking fights, yo.
Ooh.
No va a pasar otra vez as he lunges, being his turn towards you and goes
Yeah,
to smack you.
yeah. I was just going to say I'm going to full defense this because this is my fucking plan.
You used your turn. I was as with the dread
Oh,
gaze. This is because I was at full defense. That's why.
well,
Unless that broke. Did actually? Wait, hold on, Calliope. Does dread gaze break my defense? I'm
yeah,
guessing.
Yeah, because you're going to be basically cowering in fear. Now, him having gone into obfuscate, if he like disappeared out of the room and then came back, that might change something. But since you saw him the whole time, or like you didn't. I mean, you basically saw him through it, right?
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So
Because
fight
the
one didn't
obfuscate
happen.
powers last for a scene or until they decide to cease, doing them, and he just has to be in one place at that, set.
Yeah, okay, so then yeah, you can go full defense once I hit you. Rather parry or dodge, whichever way you want to do it.
yeah, sure.
Let's see. And of course the ones.
Always the ones.
1, 2, 3. Just 3 successes. So all you have to do is get 3 successes on a parry or dodge.
That's 10 dice for me.
Got it.
Ah, 2 successes. God damn it.
As he goes in on you, because I'll do the hit now. As after the eyes, he goes towards the body to the abdomen and hits you right in your abs. I'm assuming you have, because you're probably appearance 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Uh,
and a lot of strength and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, so he goes right into your abs and calls the hit each time because he's not going to physically hit you, even though you use Dread Gaze. And he calls 1, 2, 3, and goes back into his corner and yeah, obviously skillfully moves back. Uh, nice dodge.
Uh, I'm not dodging, yo. I'm fucking blocking your moves.
not,
You see, I got 2 of those first.
not much of a block as he goes for another attack. Sets it back at top. Oh god, this
Oh
was a
god.
bad roll.
Oh dear.
So I got no attacks on this one. Your turn. I miss pathetically, by the way. I go for a shoulder, let's say, and miss.
So that's 5 successes.
Nice.
So I'm still in full defense. You go in for this pathetic blow. Javier just kind of dodges out and kind of marks a move right at your chest. Yeah. With the dodging and all that. Yeah, I'm kind of good at that shit, Joe.
Muy bien, muy bien. He laughs and he really seems to be enjoying this little bout and noticing that Clan Toreador is stronger than what other people think, especially of Javier here. And he goes in for another one since we're back at top. He's still not using any celerity actions. He doesn't want to use disciplines. Bitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes. You probably can still dodge that if you're still in
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah. I'm still defending. I'm just trying to uh block your moves and/or out counter you.
Sure, sure.
And I get one of those. So
So
he kind of gets the first, but gets overwhelmed with the fury of blows coming his way. Kind of hey, you're not fucking marking your moves anymore.
disculpa, disculpa, as he pulls back from the last hit as he hits you. I lost myself in the fight. And he goes down to actually go full defense to see if you will attack him this time. Hopefully not using direct gaze after he kind of unleashed a bit of anger on you.
He watches that and makes a big like noise.
And Javier kind of shakes himself and watches you for a minute, but goes for the offense.
Check it. I wouldn't hate you if you did that.
That's a lot of successes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to dodge that. 1, 2, 3, 8. Yeah, fuck that. What's my dodge? Dex and athletics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I can if I get every single success. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of how many you had?
Yeah. So you basically block a few, but fury of a lot of blows with a small knife coming your way, getting close and close personal. It's just overwhelms you, and he kind of backs away after he feels he's not really just marking hits anymore either.
Awesome. So to not drag it on too much, this last one, he will go for a celerity action after this attack. So he splits the blood. Oh, blood spit. And a good thing he did, because he didn't hit shit.
I'm still going to roll my defense. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, fuck yeah, you
You
hit me.
And you kind of beat the shit out of you once more. And you have one celerity action. I'm still in full defense, so I'm at 1 minus.
Cool. As he sees that he misses and pulls back, he goes in for another lunge, and 1, 2, 3 successes this time.
Oh, and Javier does bad.
Oh yes, I got you. I
So
got you.
he gets the first 2, and you get
Yeah.
one in.
There you go.
And Javier kinda yo.
Submit as he goes back and kind of has his arms up.
Yeah, let's end it there, We're kind of good at each other.
Javier, he puts out his hand to do a handshake. Yeah, whatever they say about you, do not believe them. You are quite a strong. And he pats you on the back as he moves back towards the seating area.
Woo!
Bravo!
You can chug some up.
But
I say the other trick with this clan stuff is that Toreador has this great reputation for being a bunch of pansy-ass art lovers. And you know what? We generally like to keep it that way, because if people know what we can actually do, then we become a target. If they think we're useless, we're safe, and we can manipulate things from behind the scenes.
Alright.
I just look at Miss Kalliope. She is basically the prince.
Well, I mean, why do you think the Tremere always want a Ventrue on the throne and a Tremere in the seneschal position? It's because they don't want their head on a platter, but they still want to have all the power. So that's one of the tricks with our clan, too, is have just enough prestige and reputation around the city to be able to throw your weight around, but don't put ourselves in the target sites.
You know, I'm kinda already in the fucking target sites, being a fucking anarch and all.
Nah. Tú eres un toreador primero. You can
Thanks,
come
man.
to us. You can come to us, but just be careful. I hear bad things. Perhaps you will see reason and join the Camerata in time. As he kind of says that very mockingly to you.
He kind of frowns for a second, but shrugs it off. Nah. Hombre, I ain't gonna join the fucking Camarilla just because, you know, I got another Spaniard in that fucking hole, yo. Got a lot of Spaniards in fucking LA. You don't see one of those, you know, joining the fucking Camarilla.
True.
But
Speaking
nah,
of
Morty,
which- Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You should totally learn how to fight, you know? Or at least, you know, get the thing with the eyes where, you know, bring the beasts out and make people run. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, I'll say that was awesome.
Or you just kinda, I kinda botched that shit, you know, I'm still kinda in the learning process of all that. But, you know, make the, like, the opposite of the obfuscate and, you know, kinda go, poof, not there anymore. And just stabbing them fucking back when their backs are turned. You know, it's all about fucking surprise and a lot of hits. And I try
That's
to
probably
fucking...
the only reason you picked that skill up. Because that element of surprise. Because let me tell you, I find it very easy to hide in the spotlight. I guess it's not really my style to hide in the shadows.
Neither for me. As he laughs and takes another sip.
Well, Mortimer, you got to work on your ability to intimidate people. If you're going to do the eyes, it's scary eyes. It's not puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, you may do a puppy dog, but that is a different power.
Man, I still have so much to learn. I have been spending too much time trying to just make a little niche for myself in this city. Well, thank you guys. This really helped me out.
Speaking
Yeah.
of
I'm honored to call you all clanmates.
she goes over to the table and hands a bunch of handwritten envelopes with like wax seal stamps in various colors of wax on the back of them, and hands it to Mortimer and says, since you're taking up the harpy job here, I've got the invites to the next Elysium for one for each harpy of the different clans. And she goes over to Javier and has one that doesn't have a colored seal on the back of it. Looks a little bit more rugged than the other ones. Hands it over to him, too. And there's one for the rest of the Anarchs, too, because I guess you guys have to show up and tell the prince that you're here.
Oh yeah, we already did that shit.
Alright, well, I wasn't sure, so I made you guys one, too.
No, they're cool, cool. But you know, I'm kind of thinking of going here and, you know, enjoying the music, maybe doing some singing myself.
Oh, that does remind me. Have we decided on what we're going to be doing for this Elysium?
It's been quite some months. 6 or 8 months or so, and since we've had a formal masquerade ball style Elysium. It's been since, what's her name? I totally would remember in character because I have perfect memory, but I'm trying to think of Mickey's character's name.
Lady Orchid.
Lady Orchid! Yes! She doesn't slip. She's like, it's been since Lady Orchid has been in control of the princedom, since we've had a proper masquerade ball. And by God,
Ooh.
I don't want to get shown up by the Nosferatu or the Tremere in terms of throwing a party, because that would just be
I like it.
So,
if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Yeah, we can have... I'm hoping that each of us can do some form of entertainment here. We've been working on some dancing here, and I'm sure you can do all kinds of writing and poems and dramatic readings and things. I think John is bringing in artwork, and she doesn't call him the prince. She just says, "I think John's bringing in some artwork," and says, "And I plan to make sure everything is decorated to the nines. So get."
Did everything just die?
Did we lose her?
I think maybe.
Because all of you froze, and then I saw Javier move.
Yeah. Same here.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
Well, in that case,
She should be coming back. She'll probably figure it out. She probably blue screened again. I know she's
Yeah.
having computer problems. Sorry,
was-
gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages watching this show.
we're going to have a slight intermission.
Yeah, she says in the chat that she blue screened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but with her saying those ideas, to I guess keep it on track, as she was saying, Javier, ¿tú crees que puedes venir al Elysium? I understand that you already presented yourself, but obviously being a Toreador, having your own little section and making sure you do some type of performance, that would be splendid.
Yeah, I do I do the singing and shit like that, and it kind of clears her throat and begins to sing. Let's see. Difficulty 4 says I have enchanting voice. That's 6 successes. It begins
Nice.
to sing something nice in Spanish. Something about some old wives kind of song, you know, something you would hear like drunk people sing, drunk Spanish people sing.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Yeah, not that, but you know.
Ay, 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 ay. Mi
Yeah,
perdí los calzones. I don't know.
Yeah, but still, you know, very, very pretty.
Okay. Juan gets a little bit entranced by this. Not that this is his flaw by any means, but he enjoys, obviously, with the amount of successes that you have, this little short performance. And yeah, sí, algo así. Eso va a ser perfecto. Perfect.
No, it's not fucking perfect. It's not. But you know, it's still just a work in progress, yo.
Well, compared to the kind, you are far above the rest. He laughs.
You know.
Indeed.
He kind of he smirks and kind of brushes himself off.
Yes, if you come to the Elysium, then this would be a great way to get free publicity too.
I believe he controls most of the area with his performances, but it's a good idea nonetheless. I've heard of the band back when I was in Washington.
We get a lot of people coming to them bands, yo. Basically, if I used some of my presence during those bands, I could maybe rally a lot of fucking people to do my bidding. You know how impressionable youngsters are these fucking days, yo.
They have a good role model in you then. He laughs.
Nah, but it would be cool, yo, to you know do the whole singing thing maybe.
Yes. As I said before, you are Toreador. You are part of the clan. Maybe, again, maybe not the Camarilla, but you are still family, as it were. He looks at Mortimer. Have you given thought to maybe some writing, or?
You know, I am a writer, but so far I spent so much time these past several weeks just getting everything set up. I haven't had a single chance to sit down and write for the evening. He says, I think it's high time that and then he stops for a second. And then you see this look of realization come over his face, and then he just goes, "God damn it, I left my stuff in the car," as he sighs in exhaustion, and then looks at the two of you guys and says, "I don't suppose any of you guys would like to accompany me to the sausage factory."
Hombre. However, that's just fucking perfecto and all that, but nah, I'm gonna skip that shit, yo.
I as well do not wish to concern myself with a masquerade breach in the making.
Well, I gotta check up on the guy anyways. He is a fellow harpy, after all. And I
Be careful, Mortimer.
still need to find out what the hell is going on. I will. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Morty. I think we haven't exchanged numbers, and I might be a fucking anarch, but I kind of like the fucking Toreadors anyway. And he extends a card to you. Just
Oh, yes.
If you fucking need anything.
Sure thing, as he goes to reach for his card and realize that his cards are in the stuff that was on the car, so he's like, "Oh, god damn it, I'll just write my number down." Do you guys have a piece of paper?
Just call me if you need me. Just call me. If you're some fucking shupa sapaf motherfuckers hunting your ass or whatever, just give me a call or a message and I'll be there like ahorita.
Thank you, Javier, as he'll take the card and go to shake your hand.
Yeah. He shakes yours with a firm grip.
Mm.
And kind of brings you into for a hug, actually.
Sure.
One of those typical gangster hugs.
Oh yeah, he'll do it. Yeah, he's feeling that he definitely got a bad first impression with all, or except for Juan Carlos, all of the Toreadors at first from that night at the Looking Glass so many weeks ago.
Anyway,
All right, I've got to get my stuff back. Thank you again, gentlemen. I will be in touch.
I will be setting up for Elysium a little bit more, so I'll be here. But good night to both of you.
Right, good night.
I'll see you around, yo.
Oh, por supuesto.
And of course, he'll wish good night to Kalliope as well. And then he will head off.
Oh yeah, night, Kalliope.
Good night. And I think they both leave, and maybe the scene will end.
The last thing that Mortimer will think to himself as he begins walking into the night is that he's glad he's decided to say cats. He's glad he's decided to stay in New Sarum. This place is batshit crazy every single night, but that's where the best stories happen. And our scene ends.